My name is Lydia Harrington. I'm 31 years old, and I didn't know my life was about to split cleanly into a before and an after until 11:04 a.m. on a Tuesday, while I was sitting at my desk pretending to care about a quarterly forecast I'd already memorized. My phone buzzed once. I ignored it. Then it buzzed again. I glanced down, expecting nothing. Maybe a delivery alert, maybe a calendar reminder. Instead, I saw Evan's name light up my screen. My boyfriend. The man I'd been with for 4 years. The man who had lived in my apartment for the last 2. The message was long enough to feel wrong immediately. Hey babe, just so you know, I'm flying out this afternoon to meet Clara. She's my online girlfriend. We've been talking for 6 months. I need to spend Valentines with someone who actually understands me emotionally. Back Sunday night, don't wait up. I read it once, then again, then a third time, slowly, like maybe the words would rearrange themselves into something that didn't feel like a punch to the chest. They didn't. I typed back one word. What? The response came instantly, like he'd been waiting for it. You heard me. This relationship hasn't been working for a while. Clara gets me in ways you never have. You're always stressed, always worried about money and responsibilities. I deserve to explore this connection. I stared at my screen, the office noise fading into something distant and muffled. Always worried about money. That was rich. Evan hadn't worked in 8 months. Not because he couldn't, but because he was figuring himself out. I paid the rent, the utilities, the groceries, the phone plan. All I'd asked last month, once, was whether he planned to start contributing again. That was when he accused me of being controlling. My banking app buzzed before I could respond. A pending charge. $487.32. Airline ticket. My card. Not even my main one. The supplementary card I'd given him for emergencies. The same card he'd been using for food delivery, gaming subscriptions, and impulse purchases he never remembered making. I didn't reply to his message. Instead, I opened my bank app, reported the card lost, canceled it, removed Evan as an authorized user on every account, changed passwords, called my phone carrier, and removed his line from my family plan. The whole thing took 23 minutes. When I was done, I sat back in my chair and took a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. My coworker Maya leaned over the partition. You okay? I looked up at her. My boyfriend just told me he's flying to meet his online girlfriend. On my credit card. She blinked. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I said calmly. Same. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Unknown number, I answered. What did you do? Evan's voice cracked, sharp with panic. Where are you calling from? I asked. A payphone, at the airport. My card got declined. They won't let me board. Uber says my payment method is invalid. Lydia, what did you do? I canceled the cards. Silence. Then, you can't do that. You told me you were flying to meet your girlfriend, I said evenly. Why would I pay for that? Because I don't have any money, he snapped. You know that. Then maybe, I said, you shouldn't have planned a trip to meet another woman. She's not just another woman, he insisted. We have a deep emotional connection. I actually laughed. Like paying rent, I asked, or helping with groceries, or contributing literally anything to the life you live? This is financial abuse, he said desperately. You're trapping me. You trapped yourself, I replied. Call Clara. I'm sure she'll help. She can't, he muttered. She's between jobs. Of course she was. Then call your sister or your mom, I said. This isn't my problem anymore. You can't just abandon me at the airport, he said, his voice breaking. You abandoned this relationship, I replied quietly. I'm just making it official. He started crying. Please, he said, just let me come home. We can talk. Home? I asked. You mean my apartment? The one you don't pay for? Our apartment. The lease is in my name, I said. It always has been. I hung up. And for the first time all day, I felt something dangerously close to peace. Evan showed up at 8:07 p.m. I know the exact time because I was watching through my Ring app, sitting on the couch with my laptop open, a mug of tea going cold in my hands. He wasn't alone. His older sister Marissa stood beside him in the hallway, arms crossed, jaw tight, already vibrating with anger. Evan looked smaller than I remembered. Wrinkled hoodie, backpack slung over one shoulder like he'd just come back from a failed overnight trip instead of detonating a 4-year relationship. They tried the key. Once. Twice. It didn't work. Marissa knocked. Hard. "Lydia," she snapped, "open the door. Now." I stood, walked over, and opened the door, but left the chain on. Marissa's eyes flicked immediately to it. "Oh, so this is how you're doing it?" she said. "Locking him out like a criminal?" "The locks were changed this afternoon," I said calmly. "Evan doesn't live here anymore." Evan stepped forward, eyes glassy. "Baby, please, let me explain." "You already did," I said, over text, very clearly. Marissa scoffed. "What kind of woman strands a man at the airport?" "The kind whose boyfriend was flying to meet another woman on her credit card," I replied. Evan flinched. Marissa turned to him. "Is that true?" He hesitated just long enough. "It's not like that," he said quickly. "Clara and I—" "6 months," I interrupted. "That's how long you've been talking to her." Marissa's expression shifted. Not disbelief, calculation. "Everyone makes mistakes," she said, recovering fast. "You don't throw away 4 years over one bad decision." "He did," I replied, "when he cheated." Evan shook his head. "It wasn't cheating. It was emotional support." "That's cheating," I said flatly. Marissa rolled her eyes. "You're being dramatic." "No," I said. "I'm being done." Evan reached toward the door, fingers curling around the edge of it, eyes pleading. "Please," he whispered, "just let me in. I have nowhere to go." I stepped back and pointed down the hallway. 5 boxes, 2 suitcases, all neatly stacked. "I packed your things," I said. "Everything you own that was here." Evan stared at them like they were evidence at a crime scene. "You went through my stuff?" he asked, offended. "I packed it carefully," I said. "Clothes, shoes, electronics, personal items." Marissa stepped out into the hall, inspecting the boxes like she expected something to jump out. "Where's his jewelry?" she demanded. "The watch? The chains? The ones I bought?" I asked. "Those stayed." "You gave them to him," she snapped. "When we were together," I said. "Or not." Evan's face crumpled. "You're keeping gifts?" he said. "That's low, Lydia." "So is planning a Valentine's getaway with another woman using my money?" I replied. He suddenly looked furious. "You're doing this to punish me," he accused. "You're abusive." Marissa latched onto that word immediately. "There it is," she said triumphantly, pulling out her phone. "This is illegal. You can't just lock him out. He lives here." "He doesn't," I said. "He's not on the lease. He's never paid rent." "He has rights," she insisted. "In this state," I said calmly, "a non-paying occupant without a lease is a guest. Guests can be asked to leave at any time." Marissa stared at me. "You looked this up," she said. "Yes," I replied, "while you were driving him back from the airport." Evan let out a sound halfway between a sob and a growl. "Where am I supposed to go?" he demanded. I shrugged lightly. "Your sisters? Your parents? Clara's?" Marissa snorted. "Clara lives with her mom, in another state." "That tracks," I said. Evan's voice dropped, desperate again. "Can I at least come in and get a few things I need tonight?" "You don't need anything that isn't in those boxes," I replied. He stared at me, searching for weakness. "You're heartless," he said softly, "after everything I did for you." I tilted my head. "List it," I said. "What did you do for me?" He opened his mouth, closed it. Marissa jumped in. "He supported you emotionally." "For 6 months," I said. "He emotionally supported another woman." Marissa's face hardened. "You're going to regret this," she said. "You're destroying him." "No," I said. "I stopped enabling him." Evan suddenly dropped to his knees. Actually dropped. "I love you," he cried. "I made a mistake. Please." Something inside me went very still. "You didn't make a mistake," I said quietly. "You made a series of choices. I'm just responding to them." Marissa grabbed his arm, yanking him up. "Get up," she hissed. "She's enjoying this." I wasn't. I was tired. Marissa shoved a box toward him. "Take it," she snapped at me, "before I call the police." "Go ahead," I said. "I'll send them the text where he admits to flying out to meet his girlfriend." She froze. Evan stared at her. "You told her?" he whispered. "I told the truth," I said. They loaded the boxes into her car in silence. Just before getting in, Evan turned back. "Clara would never do this to me," he said bitterly. I met his gaze. "Then go be with her," I said. "Oh, wait." Marissa slammed the trunk. Evan glared at me. "I hate you," he said. "That's fine," I replied. "Hate me from somewhere else." The car pulled away. I closed the door, slid the chain into place, and leaned my forehead against the wood. My phone buzzed. A notification. Evan had already posted something online. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I knew what was coming next. I didn't even make it to midnight before the narrative flipped. I was brushing my teeth when my phone started buzzing non-stop on the bathroom counter. Message after message. Notifications stacking so fast they blurred together. I rinsed, wiped my mouth, and picked it up. Evan had posted. A long one. Black background. White text. The kind meant to look serious. Injured. Noble. When you realize the person you trusted most is actually emotionally and financially abusive. Being abandoned at the airport with nothing. Locked out of your own home. Some people can't handle partners with emotional needs. If you've ever been controlled, gaslit, or punished for loving someone, you're not alone. There was a photo attached. Him. Sitting on a bench at the airport. Head in his hands, hoodie pulled low. Cropped just enough that no one could see the Uber drop-off area or the Starbucks behind him. I exhaled slowly. The comments were already pouring in. Half were predictable. You deserve better. Strong men scare insecure women. She never deserved you. The other half, less kind. Wait, why were you at the airport? Didn't you have a job? What do you mean, partner with emotional needs? I didn't comment. I didn't defend myself. I knew better. Because when someone starts a public smear campaign, the truth doesn't need to scream. It just needs time. It came faster than I expected. The next morning, my phone rang at 9:12 a.m. Unknown number, I answered. "Lydia?" a woman asked, cautious but firm. "Yes. This is Patricia, Evan's mom." I closed my eyes for half a second. "Hi, Patricia." She didn't waste time. "I need you to tell me what's going on," she said, "because Evan says you made him homeless and stole his things." I leaned back in my chair. "Did he tell you about Clara?" I asked. Silence. "Who's Clara?" I opened my messages and forwarded her Evan's original text, the one that started everything. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Finally, she spoke again, much quieter. "He said you were cheating," she said. "No," I replied. "I was paying the bills while he had an online girlfriend." Another pause. "He told us you were controlling him," she said slowly. "That you wouldn't let him work on his passions." "His passion was gaming until 3 a.m., I said, "and ordering food on my card." She didn't argue. She sighed. A long, tired sound. "Oh my God," she murmured. "I raised an idiot." I said nothing. "Marissa just dropped him off here," she continued. "He's sulking, won't unpack, says he's traumatized." "That's unfortunate," I said gently. "Lydia," she said, and I could hear real embarrassment now. "I'm so sorry. We liked you. We trusted you." "I know," I said. "That's why this hurts." She hesitated. "Clara," she said again. "He said she was just a friend." "He called her his girlfriend," I replied. "For 6 months." Patricia went quiet. Then, "She's unemployed, isn't she?" "Yes." "Jesus," she muttered. "Of course she is." We hung up politely, not warmly, but honestly. That afternoon, I got my first message from Clara herself. "Hi, Lydia. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Evan gave me your number, and I just want to clear the air." I stared at it for a long moment before replying. "You're welcome to keep him. I'm not interested in talking." She didn't take the hint. "He says you're holding his things hostage. That's not okay." "Everything he owns is with him," I replied. Anything I kept, I paid for. That's not very mature. Neither is pursuing a taken man for 6 months, I typed back. Yet here we are. No response. An hour later, my coworker Maya leaned into my office. HR called, she said carefully. They want to talk. My stomach dropped. In the conference room, my manager and an HR rep sat across from me, both looking uncomfortable. Someone filed a complaint, the HR woman said, claiming you've been bragging about making a man homeless and creating a hostile environment. I nodded. I figured this might happen. I opened my laptop, showed them everything. The text, the bank charges, the ring footage of Evan trying the lock at 2 a.m. the night before. My manager swore under his breath. This is a lot, he said. Yes, I replied. It is. The HR rep closed her folder. We'll mark this as a personal matter, she said. You haven't violated any policies. Thank you, I said. When I got back to my desk, my phone buzzed again. Evan had escalated. He'd started a GoFundMe. Help me escape my abusive ex and rebuild my life. Goal, $5,000. Description, a fantasy novel. According to him, I'd isolated him from friends, controlled all finances, sabotaged his escape, and left him homeless on Valentine's Day. He raised $82. $70 of it came from Marissa. The comment section did not go the way he hoped. Someone tagged him. Didn't you cheat on her with an online girlfriend? Another. Why didn't your girlfriend pay for the flight? The fundraiser disappeared within hours. That night, my phone rang again. Unknown number. Lydia, a man said awkwardly. This is Evan's friend. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I recognized the voice. It was Clara's ex-boyfriend, the one Evan didn't know existed. I sent him screenshots. The texts about their deep connection, the plans, the declarations. His reply came fast. What the actual hell? She told me Evan was single. She told me they were just gaming friends. 10 minutes later, Evan called from Marissa's phone, screaming. You ruined everything, he shouted. No, I said calmly. I told the truth. She blocked me, he yelled. She says I lied to her. You did, I replied. You're evil, he screamed. I hung up. That was when the messages started coming from everyone else. Cousins, an aunt, a former mutual friend. He's struggling. Can't you help him just a little? 4 years has to mean something. I responded to none of them. Because 4 years did mean something. It meant I'd done enough. By midnight, Evan posted again. Another victim monologue. Fewer likes this time. People were catching on. And somewhere beneath the noise, beneath the lies and outrage and digital sobbing, something shifted. The truth wasn't loud, but it was spreading, and Evan could feel it. That's when people like him always panic. That's when the real meltdown begins. They call it an extinction burst. It's the phase where someone who's lost control throws everything they have left at the wall. Volume, chaos, desperation, hoping something sticks. Evan's came exactly 7 days after the airport. At 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzed with a ring notification. Motion detected. I rolled over in bed, heart already racing, and opened the app. It was him. Hood up, baseball cap pulled low, standing too close to the door like he thought proximity alone might guilt it open. He still had his key fob for the building entrance. I deactivated it earlier that week, but apparently there was a delay. He tried the handle. Once. Twice. Then he pulled a credit card from his pocket and started jamming it between the frame and the door, jaw clenched, movements frantic and sloppy. I watched for 10 full minutes. Didn't say a word. Didn't move. Eventually, he gave up. Before leaving, he pressed his forehead against the door and slid a folded piece of paper through the mail slot. The note read, "We need to talk. You're being unreasonable. Clara and I are just friends now. Please give us another chance. I love you. Just friends already." That was fast. I took the note, added it to a folder on my desktop labeled documentation, and went back to sleep. The next morning, my manager called me into his office again. This time he looked irritated. "Another complaint," he said. "Anonymous." I sighed. "Let me guess. I'm a monster." He grimaced. Something like that. I didn't bother opening my laptop this time. I just handed him my phone. Ring footage, the note, the previous complaint, the GoFundMe screenshots. He watched silently. Jesus, he muttered when it was over. Your ex is unstable. Yes, I said. That's the word. We'll handle it, he assured me. If he shows up here again, security will escort him out. Thank you, I said. That afternoon, the real collapse started. Marissa texted me, "You need to come get your mess." I didn't respond. She sent another. "I'm serious. He's driving me insane." Still nothing. An hour later, Patricia called. Her voice was tight. "He borrowed Marissa's credit card," she said. "Went on a shopping spree. Told her he'd pay it back when his fundraiser came through." "The fundraiser he deleted?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "That one." I closed my eyes. "He told Marissa's boyfriend she was cheating," she continued. "She wasn't. Now that's a mess, too." I didn't say anything. "He broke her laptop," Patricia added. "By accident, supposedly." "Of course," I said softly. There was a pause. "He can't stay here," she admitted. "He refuses to get a job, says he's traumatized." "Then he needs professional help," I said. "Not a girlfriend to fund him." Patricia exhaled shakily. "I'm sorry," she said. "I should have pushed him years ago." Yes, that night Evan texted from a new number. "Hey," I didn't reply. Another text. "I miss you." Nothing. Then the tone shifted. Then, "I decorated your apartment. I was there for you when you were stressed. You wouldn't be where you are without me." I stared at the screen. "Finally. I screenshot everything. Added it to the folder. An aunt. A relationship is compromise. A cousin. He has nothing. A former friend. You're being cold." I answered exactly one of them. "He has what he's always had," I typed. "Nothing he's earned himself." That night, Marissa kicked him out. Not gently. He moved back in with his parents. That lasted 3 days. On day 4, Patricia sent me one final message. We gave him an ultimatum. Get a job or leave. I replied with a single word. Good. He chose neither. Instead, he tried crawling back to me again. This time, in person. I was in a meeting when security called. "There's a man here," the guard said. "Claims he's your boyfriend." Ex-boyfriend, I corrected. "Do not let him in. He says it's an emergency." "Unless he's bleeding," I said. "It's not my emergency." I watched on the security monitor as they escorted him back outside. He was carrying a cardboard box. My box. Probably items he'd hidden when he moved out, saving them like bargaining chips. My college sweatshirt. My favorite mug. He texted from the parking lot. "I have your things. Let me up and we can talk." "Keep them," I replied. "Consider them a parting gift." Another text came immediately. "You don't even want your stuff back?" "Not if it means seeing you," I typed. "You're cruel." "No," I replied. "I'm consistent. You should try it." That was the last message I answered. 2 weeks later, the noise finally started to fade. Evan stopped posting, stopped fundraising, stopped accusing, because there was no one left to perform for. Marissa wasn't speaking to him. Patricia had stopped defending him. Clara had blocked him everywhere. In reality, quiet, patient, relentless, had taken over. The meltdown was over. What remained was the wreckage. And for the first time since all of this began, I felt something unexpected. Relief. Not because he was gone, but because I finally understood something I should have known years ago. You can't save someone who refuses to stand on their own. All you can do is step back and let gravity handle the rest. The quiet didn't come all at once. It crept in slowly, like dust settling after a building collapses. For the first week after Evan disappeared from my notifications, I kept checking my phone out of habit, half expecting another message, another accusation, another attempt to rewrite history. Nothing came. By week 2, my apartment felt different. Cleaner. Not just physically, though that too, but emotionally. The air felt lighter. The silence wasn't tense anymore. It wasn't waiting to explode. It was peaceful. I found out through mutuals, because small cities gossip like it's a sport, that Evan had finally gotten a job at a cafe. Everyone seemed shocked he'd lasted more than a few days. So was I. 4 days in, Patricia called me. "I just wanted you to hear it from me," she said. "He was fired." I didn't ask why. "He gave away drinks to customers to make friends," she continued, tired. "Showed up late, said mornings were bad for his mental health." I closed my eyes. "Patricia," I said gently, "he's 31. "I know," she whispered. "Believe me, I know." She paused. "He says you ruined his life." I smiled faintly. "No," I said. "I stopped protecting him from it." That was the last conversation we ever had. A week later, something unexpected happened. I ran into Clara's ex-boyfriend at the grocery store. We recognized each other instantly, the kind of recognition forged through shared chaos. "Lydia," he said awkwardly. "Hey," I replied. He laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. "I moved here for work," he said. "My girlfriend got a transfer." "That's great," I said honestly. He shook his head. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. Evan thought Clara was just a gaming friend. Turns out she was telling everyone different stories." "That tracks," I said. "She got kicked out of our online group," he added. "Started drama with everyone. Told women their boyfriends wanted her. Told men she was single." I raised an eyebrow. "Sounds familiar." He smiled sadly. "How are you doing?" he asked. "Better every day," I said. "He's not in my life anymore." "Good," he said. "You escaped." We parted ways politely, but the encounter planted a strange curiosity in my mind. Evan, working, in public, lasting longer than a week. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want closure. But I did want confirmation. So the following Saturday, I went to dinner with my friend Maya. We chose the restaurant without saying it out loud. The one downtown, the one Evan now worked at. He was there, standing at the host stand, hair pulled back, forced smile, eyes hollowed out by exhaustion and resentment. He saw me, froze, then pasted the smile back on. "Table for two?" he asked, voice tight. "Yes," I said calmly. He handed us menus with shaking hands. Maya leaned in, whispering, "Oh my God, I'm trying so hard not to laugh." "Don't," I murmured. "Let him have his dignity." The waiter came by. "Special occasion?" he asked cheerfully. I smiled, just loud enough for Evan to hear. "Actually," I said, "I'm bringing my boyfriend here next week. 6-month anniversary." Evan dropped the menus. They scattered across the floor. "I'm so sorry," he muttered, crouching to pick them up, his ears burning red. Maya bit her lips so hard I thought she might draw blood. We left a generous tip. Not for Evan, for the waiter. That night, Evan texted me from another new number. "I see you've moved on." I didn't reply. Another message. "She's probably using you for money, too." Still nothing. "I hope you're happy." I was. 3 months passed. Life didn't explode into fireworks. It just stabilized. I got a promotion at work. Turns out, not carrying someone else's emotional and financial weight frees up a lot of energy. My bank account grew. My sleep improved. My anxiety faded into something manageable. I started seeing someone casually. His name was Caleb. He had a job, his own place, and had never once mentioned an online girlfriend. The bar was subterranean. He cleared it effortlessly. Evan found out. Of course he did. Someone always talks. He texted one last time. "You replaced me already?" "This time," I replied. "You replaced yourself 6 months ago." No response. I blocked him. For good. Marissa messaged me a week later. "Just so you know, Evan tells everyone you're the worst ex ever." I smiled. Good. She added, "He says you financially abused him by not funding his affair." I laughed out loud. "What does he call it now?" I asked. "Emotional exploration," she replied. Of course. Before she logged off, she added one final line. "Even our parents think you did the right thing." That was enough. The last update I got, because drama travels, was that Evan had started talking to someone new online, from another country. He asked her to pay for his flight during their second video call. She blocked him. Apparently, some lessons take a long time to land. As for me, my apartment is quiet. My finances are healthy. My life is drama-free.
And Evan?
He's still out there, still looking for someone to save him from himself. I didn't plan revenge. I didn't scheme. I didn't need to. I just stopped enabling him and let reality do what it does best. Because when you remove the safety net from someone who's never learned to walk on their own, gravity takes care of the rest.